Wide-angle lenses cover a huge amount of area, and that could be a very good thing for a very particular style of photo. However, using your wide angle for everything really could be ruining your photos. In this video, I want to talk about why your wide-angle lenses might not always be the right choice, or they might not be the right choice to shoot all the way open. Maybe zoom them in to their max. Because a lot of the times there's things in the scene that can be distractions towards the story that you're trying to tell. I'll walk you through a couple of my own shots and talk about what worked and what didn't, and why zooming in can actually be better for your composition towards cutting things out, getting rid of those distractions, and really telling the story that you want to tell. And my goal by the end of this video is showing you that less can be more. So a little while ago, I was out in BC and Alberta, and freaking beautiful, let me tell you that. But the thing is, when you come up to a wide mountain range, you can be really tempted to just crank your wide angle lens all the way open to capture everything in scene. Every cloud, every valley, every peak, just get all of it in frame because it's so tempting, it's so beautiful, everything is massive, you have all these open mountains that just look incredible. And wide angles can be a great way to demonstrate scale. Think of a tiny little person standing in a glacier carve out with the mountains behind. That's a great use for a wide angle lens because you're showing scale. You have this teeny tiny person here and all these big amazing mountains. That's a composition that works because it's showing scale. But here's the catch, why it's not always what it seems. A lot of the times, even though you have big amazing mountains, sometimes just a little sliver of that area tells a better story or shows scale better than the entire open area. Take this photo for example. I use this photo a lot in my videos to demonstrate scale because I managed to make this bush almost as big as the mountain behind, and it shows that there's lots of depth of field in the image. It really shows the true scale of the area. Now, I'm going to expand this area with AI because at the time I knew this is the photo I wanted. I did not take a wide angle. Even though I had mountains on each side and it was a beautiful valley, it just didn't work. So I'm going to expand this image with AI. Now, the reason why I say my photo that's just a little sliver of the bush and the mountain works better than this whole big wide open scene is because you end up losing the scale of the bush and the mountain behind. You have all of this distraction off to the side. You're not looking at this vast mountain range. You're looking at it from a ground level as if you're actually there in the mountains standing in front of this bush. Otherwise, you're looking from one side to the other, then you're looking at the mountain, then you're looking at the bush, then you're looking at this. There's too many distractions in this photo. In my version, you have the bush, you have the mountain, and your viewer's eye goes from the bush to the mountain. This fly is driving me nuts. It's a natural progression of where you want your viewer to look in your scene. Now here's another example of when I didn't use a wide angle lens, even though I could have. We had fog rolling in over these mountains, but I thought it would look much more dramatic with a 70-200 pointed at the top peak, because now you have nothing else to look at. You're looking at the mountain peak surrounded by the fog, and the fog itself becomes its own character in this situation. If I showed the entire scene with the river below and the mountains, the fog would just be kind of there. It adds a layer to it, but it's not as interesting as just zooming all the way in and showing something that most other people won't take a picture of because they can't. To me, it's much more pleasing and it adds a layer of mystery to the scene. Personally, I find narrowing in on the subject, removing all other distractions, will always create a much more pleasing image for the viewer. You never want distracting trees and branches and shrubbery and everything all meshing into something where you have a sole focus, you have a sole subject on your scene, but you have all this other clutter all around that's just fully detracting you from your subject. Take this shot, for example. This is another shot that I shot just a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to show the shoreline down the, I don't know what you would call it, the cliffside, the shoreline down the cliffside. And it's a cool photo and it really kind of frames itself nicely. It shows scale, it's a pleasing image. But if I had rotated my camera, shot all the way open, you would have all of these trees on either side of the photo that just kind of narrow in. One could argue that that's a way of framing, but there's just too much on the sides. Again, this is expanded with AI. The sides of this photo are not real, but it's a representation of what it looked like on the day. I knew for a fact I didn't want to shoot this wide open because there's just nothing there. It's just not interesting. It's trees and trees. No one cares. You're looking straight down, it's framed in nicely at the sides, and you have a predominant subject in your photo. And that's what you want people to focus on. Here's another example of when a wide angle lens is good because it shows scale. You have these little teeny tiny people down at the bottom of this frozen lake. You have the bridge in the background and you have this wide open scene. Your eye sees the bridge, sees the tiny people. It shows scale. There's no real definitive subject, but it's a whole big open area that really shows the scale of the area. There's no real part in this photo that I would have really thought to zoom in on. Maybe the boardwalk up the side of the mountain or the side of the cliff, but aside from that, it's a great use of a wide angle lens to show scale. And the real takeaway of this is don't always use your wide angle just because you have a wide angle lens. Just because it goes to 17, 16, 10 millimeters, doesn't really matter. Doesn't mean you need to shoot it at that. A lot of the times, wide angle lenses, they're variable. Like the one I'm shooting on right now, this is a 17 to 40. This is 17 millimeters. This is 40 millimeters. This is a good portrait distance. This is a great wide angle landscape. But a lot of the times, there's certain scenes where you can zoom in. Just zoom in and then find compositions based on this 40 millimeter focal range. Don't ever feel constrained to stay at one focal length. You have an adjustable focal length for a reason, and you can just switch lenses. If you're at a mountain range, put a 70 to 200 on, zoom in, get those compositions that nobody else is really thinking of because they're out here, big wide open area, they're all shooting wide because it's a huge, nice open area. You can be the difference between the photos that you see all the time on Instagram and the ones that really stand out. If you guys enjoyed this video, subscribe. I'd love to see you guys back here hanging out in another video. That's all I got for you. Watch this if you're interested in more photography, and you guys have a good one. This fly is driving me nuts. All right, I'm gonna go get a fly swatter. Peace.